Well, a good afternoon and welcome. It is the Rundown live here from the ProView Studios. I'm your host, Adam Deal, along with the crew in the zoo. What's going on, guys? All right, so it is a Wednesday, and we're ready to rock and roll because we've got some big-time games coming up this week as high school sports are back here on ProView Sports Network. Tomorrow night, live right here, ProView Sports Network, Comcast 26, we've got Sandia the Matadors taking on and playing host against the Cibola Cougars. That's our kickoff game. I'm pumped up. Jay Pohl, what do you think?
I'm pumped. It's nice to get it back. Let's get back into it. I mean,
right?
We gained a couple pounds. You know, we're getting a little soft, but you know, it's game time.
And now we're going to be working 60-hour weeks because of all these games that we do. You know, we're going to shed a couple of those pounds. We're going to be on the move. We're going to be running. Bear Trap Brown, I know he's ready. You're ready?
Oh, looking forward to it, hitting those stadiums, you know, stairs, getting in shape. Love Friday Night Lights. All nights, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's game time.
All right, well, we've got a couple things. Steve Davis is going to join us. He's going to come on. He'll come on every week here on the Rundown. We're going to go over the top 10 poll and some of the matchups that we think are really good. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jay Pohl, but we've got our pick'ems finally for the first time this year, yes?
Yes, we do. Josh made a nice little graphic for us. Sebastian Noel was a little late, so he didn't make it this year. As usual, so he's a little behind.
So he's not even on the pick'em right now? And this is live. Like, we're doing the show live here on Facebook, by the way. If you want to throw a comment or a question our way, please do so. As we're streaming live on Facebook.com. It's on the ProView Network page and obviously live here on Comcast 26 in the Rundown. But, like, he can't backtrack like he's done in the past and say, oh, I actually got him in. Like, he has not got his picks in yet. So I think that should be like a disqualification or at least 2 or 3 wrong, huh?
Automatic DQ for the first week. We'll see if we'll let him in for week 2.
We'll see.
I don't want to give anything away, but one of those picks is Highland and Rio Grande, and everyone should know that Rio Grande is on this monster losing streak, and they're trying to avoid breaking the all-time record, which was set by Albuquerque High School at a total of 43 games. And so right now, I think 37 games is where Rio Grande is at. So they've got to avoid that. A big chance against Highland tomorrow night. We'll be streaming that game, by the way, and we'll show you all of our picks here in just a moment. What I do want to jump into, though, is the Sandia and Cibola matchup. It's our first televised game, so we're really excited about it. And a special player who finally gets to jump on the field for the first time in his high school career because of so many injuries, so many surgeries, but a good attitude and looking forward to getting on that field tomorrow night from Cibola High School.
It all started like in 7th grade. I had both my hamstrings pulled off, both my ischium bones connected to my lower pelvis. And then from that, the left one kept just popping off and overgrowing, so I had 2 more surgeries on the left hip, so I had a total of 4 surgeries. And then so I played my freshman year, and then going into my sophomore year, the left one kind of had an issue, so I had to have another surgery. And then so that took me out of the sophomore season and junior season, so this is my first season back. I feel confident. I think if I was a little worried about it, it would kind of slow me down and not let me perform to the potential I could be performing at. Oh, it's going to be amazing. It's like a dream come true, honestly. I missed this so much, and being out here even through the summer with all the guys and all the kids I've grown up with since Yaffle, since the first year of football. I mean, this is all I've ever really wanted, and so now I'm actually get to have it. We're hungry. I think even from last year coming forward, I think we might be a little slept on, and I think that, I mean, I don't blame people for sleeping on us, but I think we're going to have a very good season this year. I mean, it was pretty rough. As like any 15-year-old with double hip surgery, it'd be pretty rough being in a wheelchair for about 4 months. And then being on like a little knee scooter for the rest of the surgeries. I mean, it was pretty rough. I had some dark times, but I always surrounded myself with great friends and great teammates that helped me push through it.
And look, a little bit of what he talked about there, Matt Sanchez, is basically he hasn't been able to play with all his brothers that he grew up with in Yaffle because of these injuries. And imagine having 4 hip surgeries, being in a wheelchair at one point, and finally he's going to get some Friday night, well actually it'll be Thursday night football in his system. He looked stout, he looked good, he's a leader of this defense. It'll be good to see him get on that field. I mean, guys, could you imagine, you know, football is your dream, you've always wanted to play at this level, and finally this kid is going to be able to do that.
I mean, that's a huge thing to overcome. I mean, it's, what did he say? His hamstrings ripped from his bone, and that doesn't sound good. And then you miss sophomore, you miss your junior year, and then senior year come, you're just, and he seems, he's not a small man. He's not a small boy. He looks pretty stout. So, and middle linebacker, I think he can just lay it down.
I mean, I guess his attitude is the best part about it, and he's a special kid, and his coaching staff really speak volumes about him and how much he's had to rehab and how much he's had to overcome just to get there. So we're really excited. Hope everything goes well with that. Look, throw it to you guys real quick. The crew in the zoo. Okay, Alden is in the back there. He's going to come on a little bit later, right, Alden? You're going to come on a little bit later. Ball so hard.
Yep, I have. I've been putting together a little package for our matchup set.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Are we going to see some stuff for you? We got something from you?
We're gonna, sometimes how they lock like Lion King in the Disney vault, and it never comes back. We're about to see some ProView from 7 years ago. So we'll see if you guys enjoy it. I'm putting it together now.
That is, and this has been in the vault, and it's special, and you'll see why. As what a tease from Alden Ball So Hard, Ioane. When we return, we've got Steve Davis. We've got the top 10 poll we're going to talk about, and then we're going to go over our pick'ems for this week here in the Rundown.
ProView Network crew, assemble! High school sports are back live on ProView Sports Network.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of ProView Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Locally loved restaurants like Farina Pizzeria, Farina Alto, and the Artichoke Cafe are the perfect venue for your next event. Farina Alto has traditional Italian food, plus handcrafted cocktails in a beautiful Northeast Heights location. Farina Pizzeria with a downtown vibe, amazing affordable wines, and local beer. And the Artichoke Cafe has set the standard for casual fine dining since 1989. Visit our family of restaurants and see what fine dining is all about.
I'm Troy Lefane, head coach of the USL New Mexico franchise, and you're watching ProView Sports.
Back to it here in the ProView studios. It's the Rundown. Adam Deal now being joined by owner and president Steve Davis. Of course, we got the crew in the zoo. How you guys doing over there? Everything good? All right. Steve, the Brains Davis is what we call you. I mean, you're ready to rock and roll, right?
Well, I'm glad basketball season's starting, Adam.
Yeah.
And you know, we got great matchups coming up.
This is why we call you the Brains. You know exactly what's going on. Steve, it's football season.
Oh, well, you know what? I don't know why I'm on the show. I thought you were. I was so excited about basketball, I forgot football. But.
All right, well, who's your top 10 basketball? Well, it's top 10. Let's go over that right now. We got our top 10 poll. Okay, so I'm going to ask you. You're the brains, Steve. Who do you most likely want to see in here? I mean, obviously, we don't know anything yet. This is just like a projection. What do we think is going to happen, or who we think's good? But I mean, what do you think? Who's the most interesting team to you, I guess?
Well, I think you've talked about a lot, and everybody in the city's talking about it, is just the transfer of power to the northern part of the state.
Yeah.
And you look at there, you got four, where we had not seen Las Cruces in the southern, like the Hobbs and the east side of the state. My team, you got Clovis and Hobbs up there in that 8 and 9 spot, but it's really intriguing to me to see the power that that's in the northern part of the state and also the metro area.
Well, I guess I'll touch on it is because I was told. Somebody said that they don't remember seeing a top 10 poll, the last top 10 poll that they've seen, where there wasn't a Southern team in there, like a Las Cruces or a Mayfield.
Oh, I'm right there with you.
In the top 4, right? And so, you look at the top 4, and so it's either two things: either I'm crazy and I'm just going to, completely mess this up, or really truly the Northern Power metro area is just right now taking over a little bit.
Well, I can kind of look who's coaching those 4 top teams, okay, and look at what those Coach Beck is at La Cueva. They're in the finals last year.
Right.
Cleveland, Reinhart's won 2 state championships.
Alvarado's been extremely successful under Dotson. He's been to the finals twice, right? So.
And then Rio Rancho, you look at the last. So that's I don't. I know I'm the brains of this, and I don't want to, and I could be a little off in the seasons, but my Alzheimer's is coming back to me, and I'm figuring out all the angles now.
Okay, let's go over some of our matchups here. But first I want to start. We'll talk about Siebel and Sandy in just a second. But first, I want to bring up maybe the matchup I think that is in the South, and that's Rio Rancho taking on Centennial. It's a 4-5 is what we have it ranked. I feel like this can really set the tone for the season, a game that I'm really interested in.
Well, anytime you go down to Centennial, go down to the Field of Dreams, you better be at least a touchdown or better. And I'm not saying that disrespectfully about anything, but except for because of the travel, the time, everything that's
the atmosphere,
the fans, and the whole thing. They better be ready to get off the bus and play football. And it's the first game of the year. Are they ready to go on those conditions?
Well, and Coach House has had some success at the Field of Dreams. This is a young Rio Rancho team and maybe more of a veteran Centennial team. Very tough road matchup, I think, to start their season, but could say a lot about this Rams team. We'll go over our picks, by the way, here in the rundown with the crew in the zoo in just a little bit. Now we're talking about our matchups, Jay Pullen. If you could throw back up the Sandia Cibola. Yeah, that's going to kick off our season, Steve. And guess what? That's tomorrow night. And it's a Thursday night kickoff at Wilson Stadium, and 2 evenly matched teams, in my opinion. And what a way to start our campaign off in the 2018-19 season.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Barker and Coach Williams, they'll both agree that they need a win. They need to get, their season last year wasn't the way that they wanted it to end, and they want to prove themselves that they can compete for that blue trophy. And that's the great thing right now is that everybody's 0-0. I mean, that's so exciting. We may have the top 4 teams, but as you and I know, there's a whole season. There's injuries that play impact. There's grade factors, eligibility factors, and there's also who starts playing well.
Another evenly matched game, Steve. It's our other Thursday night game, and that's Rio Grande Ravens taking on the Highland Hornets. It's been documented about how Rio Grande's losing streak is up for grabs here.
A lot of, you look at this matchup, and there's a lot of public opinion about who's going to win this game.
I'm curious. Now remember, Highland has dropped out to 5A. Rio Grande still stays 6A, but they're independent. They can't even make the playoffs, let's say, even if they were 10-0 this year.
And again, Highland Hornets, they have that record. So there's a lot of they have that record of having the most losses in consecutive losses over a few seasons, multiple seasons.
Right. What they're trying to avoid is the all-time record, which is Albuquerque High School at 43, and I think Rio Grande right now is at, I want to say, 37. And so if they were to lose out this season, which is possible, then they would break that record for Albuquerque High School. Friday night matchups very interesting here on ProView Sports Network. We know El Dorado is going to be good. Matt Smith might be the best quarterback in the state, and West Mesa, new regime there for the Mustangs, and so that game could be seen here on ProView Comcast 26.
Well, I'm going to tell you, that's an interesting thing because you have El Dorado's assistant coach being the head coach.
Yeah, there's a little right.
So there's a little bit of, he knows the players and he knows.
That's a great point. You know, there's a reason why it's Steve Davis the brains, right? Steve the brains. How is it going to go?
Yeah, nobody's even brought that point up. I've been waiting to be on on the weekly shows.
Valley, they're 5A. Albuquerque High School is 6A, but they're independent. Okay, this is an old school rivalry, I guess, to start the season.
Always a rival, big rivalry right here.
I'll tell you, I've been to Valley. I've seen Albuquerque too, and Albuquerque's got a couple really good players. Valley's much improved. I find this an intriguing matchup on a Friday night.
You couldn't have had great matchups and teams that need wins that can carry on for momentum for the rest of the year.
Okay, and then of course, Steve, our game of the week is, I think, quietly the second best game to open off in the state. I said Centennial Rio Rancho is probably my favorite matchup, but I really think Volcano a lot. I mean, James Yotis from the Albuquerque Journal thinks they're a top 5 team. I have them ranked 10. I don't know too much about them to rank them too high, but we know La Cueva's defense is going to be good. If Volcano truly is a competitor, this is the game to prove it. This will be on My 50 TV. It'll be a statewide television game. You know it's a big deal, so we'll have all the bells and whistles for this, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
I tell you what, a lot of bulletin board material for Chad Wallen. I mean, if you got him 5, and Yotis has him 5, and you got him 10, and we're going to find out who the media really knows football in Albuquerque, in the state.
Well, it's hard to compete with James Yotis.
I agree.
Belen Eagles, they're taking on Del Norte. Now, we know how good Belen could be because he is one of the best running backs in the state, and he's getting some good looks. He had 2,700 yards last year. Del Norte, Coach Binkley thinks they're better. That's a nice Saturday matchup for us. It'll be streamed live on the NFHS network.
Interesting. Like I said, this couldn't be a better weekend of matchups of teams to have to go out and prove something.
And then, Steve, lastly, another really good one is we want to see where Mayfield is. Are they down? Are they up? Nobody really knows, and we're going to find out first weekend as they take on Atrisco Heritage at Community Stadium. That's live here on ProView Sports Network Comcast 26. And Atrisco, a playoff team for the last 5 years, but they're not in a cakewalk district anymore, so there are no gimmies to get into the playoffs, and I think non-district game, very good game.
And a new style of play, on Atrisco Heritage. I believe that Patrick Johnson is coming out with a little bit of new offense. So
well, that's what he says. We're going to find out. He says more throwing and less running. We're going to find out. That's the brain, Steve Davis. He'll join us every Wednesday right here on The Rundown. Of course, you can catch him on the Steve Davis Show every single week. When we return, we've got Pick'ems coming your way.
This is Brandon Baeza of the Las Cruces Bulldogs. You're watching the Daily Rundown only on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all, or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, #life change will occur.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
From the Cibola Cougars. You are watching the Daily Rundown only on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26.
You know you've made it when Amaya Brown says you're watching ProView Sports Network. She'll be playing at Florida State this year. And so who's going to be playing at what colleges next year? Because it's that time of the year as sports are back. So crew in the zoo, listen, it's our time for some pick'ems. He's wearing a sombrero. He's from Ball So Hard University. He's the two-time reigning champion in pick'ems. Ball So Hard himself, Alden Iowani. How are you, Alden? A little blow up.
Can you see my face here? Hold on. Do I need to go this way? Okay.
Yeah, roll that way a little bit. There you go.
All right. Yeah, I'm ready to three-peat. It's time for a dynasty. You know how Jordan won his championships in threes. So
you win one and then you'll quit for a year.
Yeah, exactly.
2 years and then you're going to come back.
Maybe go play baseball. Who knows? Play with the Monstars. I got the jersey, so I'm good to go.
All right, so you got a little love for us today, a little something, right? In honor of Cibola playing Sandia, well, this is something that you've been a part of as a player. Maybe people forget, Alden.
Yeah. So I had a little stint playing football from 2007 to 2011 at Cibola, and I used to always pretty much bring my best game whenever I had Sandia. So here's some clips from me playing against them back in the day. Alan Key on the call for this one, throwback. And yep, that was the game. That was the Hail Mary at the end of the game. Got an interception. That was my junior year.
That's an Iowani pick.
Yep, sealing the game. And then this is my senior year, and this is my only high school touchdown I got against Sandia. So traditionally, I do well against Sandia. So I picked. We actually haven't got into that.
No, that's a good segue into it. So there's himself.
I like that play. Ooh.
This is Ball So Hard himself.
We didn't get the whole clip, but we also had a whole. I actually did a chest bump with a guy who used to play or who used to work here at ProView, Jonathan JT.
JT.
Yep. So I did a chest bump with him. It was a real nice moment. But
okay, so you segue into our picks. Let's get into our pick'ems. And obviously you got to go with your Cougars.
Yeah, I got that championship sombrero on. Like, it looks really nice too. Looks like it might have been from Kansas City. Who knows? But so for my Cibola Sandia pick, because I do well against Sandia, they're going to do well against me in pick'ems. So I picked Sandia to beat my Cibola Cougars.
Oh, man, he goes against his alum. Come on, man. You make good plays. You set it up. Yep. All right, well, I went Sandia as well. It looks like Jason and Josh, they go Cibola, guys.
after seeing two-a-days, seeing Rod Smith, I think this is the year they'll put it together. I think they'll take care of Sandia here. So two-a-days as well. See how that line. I don't know about the lineup at Sandia, so I'm going Cibola.
All right, let's shift over to Rio Grande and Highland. Jason Pohl, where did you go with this one?
I went with Highland. They looked good last year. They were scoring touchdowns. They were playing hard. So I'm going with Highland.
Yeah, I went with Highland. The only one not to was Josh Brown. You think the losing streak ends, eh?
I believe it does end this week. You gotta make moves to get to the top to unreign the champions here. So that is my week one right there. Rio Grande gets it.
Ball so hard.
This losing streak.
Ball so hard, Alden Iowani. All of us chose La Cueva. Do you think Volcano's got a chance?
I definitely think they do have a chance. They have a chance to beat anybody any week they play. It's just their issue is consistency. They have athletes on both sides of the ball. But let's see. La Cueva, I feel like they're going to be super hungry this year since they lost in the state championship last year. They got a lot of returning players. So I think Volcano has a chance, but ultimately I think it's La Cueva.
All of us think El Dorado over West Mesa. Valley Albuquerque, really tough matchup. Jason, you're the only one to go with the Bulldogs. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I was talking to Josh earlier and saying since they're independent, I want them to go undefeated all season and then just put it into reality, put it into perspective that this team can play, but I'm going with them. I like Albuquerque.
Everybody thinks Cleveland gets Oñate at the Field of Dreams, and then Mayfield against the Trisco Heritage. Wait, I'm sorry, that's Manzano against Las Cruces, and there's some split here. So Alden, you think the defending champs start off their season big. I go Cruces, Jason goes Cruces, Josh goes Cruces, you go purple.
This was definitely the hardest pick for me. I was going back and forth. I wanted to pick Cruces, but I think the champs are going to come down there. Nobody thinks that they're going to be really all that great. I think that they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. Ivy Sod's going to go crazy, and that's what I see happening in this game.
That's well said. Okay, we all got Mayfield over Trisco. Interested to see that game. I'm really interested. I think it's the game of the week is Rio Rancho Centennial, don't you guys?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a coin flip, Adam, for sure. I feel like either of these teams can definitely win.
So I go Rio Rancho. Alden, you go Centennial at home. I mean, that's probably a safer pick. And then Jason, Josh, you guys got Rio Rancho. Josh, I got to ask you now, we go further down, Belen, Del Norte. Everyone's got Belen. You've got your Del Norte Knights.
March on.
Binkley.
March on. Down that field, we're going to see that high fun and gun. Binkley promised some passing. Love that quarterback there. I think they get it done there. We're going to see it.
Something really quick about the Knights really quick.
Yeah.
We found out that our most alma maters come from Del Norte Knights. We got our own Josh Brown, Sebastian Noel, and Leroy Lucero all went to Del Norte, and they are all Knights.
That is quite an ensemble there, isn't it? Jason, we still got 2 minutes? Okay. So great matchups. If you disagree, you want to send in your picks, send them to us on Facebook or tweet us at ProviewTV. We would love to see it. And I would imagine we'll start doing the tweet of the day here soon, right? We'll pick that up again. We'll start next show. Yeah, guys? Friday, tweet of the day. Can we do that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? Since we have a little bit of extra time in the show,
yeah,
I think we should rerun the Alden package.
Well, you might as well.
Like, because these are my glory moments, you know.
Super slow-mo. Look, here's a check at the line. Like, what's going on? It's the last play of the game. You're down.
Oh, yeah. It's the last play of the game. Kind of. Oh, look. I'm playing cover 3. Got it over the top. Interception, baby. No chance whatsoever.
And then you know the
punt and infamy. You know, that was a close game. If you look at the score, look at my touchdown, put us ahead, and we held down the rest of the game, and we won that game as well. So,
but he picked against Cibola. You could watch Cibola tomorrow night. We've got that action for you to kick off our season right here on ProView Networks. The Crew in the Zoo. Appreciate it. Jason, Josh, Alden, I'm Adam Deal. We'll see you tomorrow.